Come on, everybody, let's get to work. It's a living, everybody.
I'm on top of Manitoba's Legislative building. Actually, not right on top, because as everyone knows, on top is the Golden Boy, symbol of Manitoba's prosperity and youth. Though after 80 years, he's not looking so young anymore, kind of tarnished. So he is getting a complete makeover. And about time, too. It was back in 1919 that the Golden Boy, a gift from France, was lifted to the top of the Manitoba Legislature. But this is Winnipeg, capital of extreme weather. Nobody is sure how bad the damage is going to be, and to make matters worse, the restoration job is going to be a race against the clock. He has to be ready for the Queen to unveil him as part of her Jubilee tour. Our first job, build a scaffold so workers can reach the job site 77 meters straight up. Giant mechano set, eh?
Stu Telsma shows me how the mechano set works.
So that's how this whole thing is put together, just like one at a time.
One at a time.
See, the little thing goes in there, and then you stick this sort of naily thing through and give it a whack. So how long did it take to do this whole?
We've been here, we were here 2 weeks in November and roughly 2 months now.
2 months to do this.
Yeah.
This I can handle.
70 miles of steel later, and we're at the top of the legislature.
Wow. Hey man, that's a workout just getting up here. You're gonna have to think about, oh look at this, this is the top of the Golden Boy. Check this out. He is in tough shape, isn't he?
8 decades of braving the elements has really taken its toll.
See how they put the gold on in little squares, eh? This is what's gonna all have to be redone. There's no gold basically left on him except, right here where the sun don't shine. Why is everything heavy? Why don't they make light stuff? It'd be a bit of a disaster if you dropped one, eh?
Top's in there?
Top's in here. Hello. Look at that. It's apparently going to be very hot in here in the summer, so little ventilation.
Once the workers get up there and get a close look, there's really bad news. The Golden Boy is in worse shape than first thought. He's rotting from the inside. He's going to have to be taken off his perch to be repaired. Finishing the job before the Queen gets here will be even tougher now.
All set, Angelo?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And then I give him this is the signal, eh?
Yeah.
Up like this.
Now the work of experts like crane operator Ed Mossop becomes extremely important.
And there's a bit of pressure on you, eh? Like, you'd hate to make a mistake with this machine.
Yeah, especially on a machine like this, when you have a load or my foot is on the brake, it would just be a split second and you could injure or kill somebody.
Now that the Golden Boy needs more than regilding, the question is, where do you find the expertise to restore an antique statue from the inside out? Where else but the high-tech labs of Bristol Aerospace? There, the Golden Boy is x-rayed, taken apart at the seams, cleaned, primed, and rebuilt. Hundreds of experts work around the clock and finish the job in record time. The Golden Boy arrives on schedule at the Forks Market in Winnipeg, where his adoring public will watch him turn into gold.
So what are you doing here? Just
This is called skewing, and I'm
Skewing?
Skewing.
Matthew Friesen is one of 5 gilders. For him, this is a golden opportunity.
This would be the pinnacle of gilding.
I'm helping Matthew finish up. The only thing left behind, the dimple on the Golden Boy's butt.
oh, it's varnish.
Yes.
I'm being extra careful because this butt will have to pass royal inspection.
You don't want any blobs, just a nice thin layer.
I put the varnish on so the gold has something to stick to.
Gold foil. It's been hammered down between chemis to become basically 2/1000ths of an inch thick.
Okay. Wow. It's squares. Like there's a square and there's a square.
And then just use the backside of your finger to smooth it on.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah. The next step would be skewing, because there'll be leftovers kind of around where we had varnished.
Okay. There's a spot definitely right there, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you just
Take that away. Is that looking pretty good? I think. What do you think?
buns of steel.
Buns of steel. From now on, I have the honor of saying, see that little piece of dimpled butt on the Golden Boy? My butt looks exactly the same. Hard steel, little dimple in there.
After all that hard work, getting him back up on his perch undamaged presents quite a challenge for moving man extraordinaire Brian Warwick.
But we've been practicing not to touch him. We can do this whole thing and not lay a finger on him. The stress of tilting him on his front.
Right.
The stress of pulling him up.
And the whole thing is don't touch him.
Don't touch him.
Especially with a big hunk of steel.
No.
Okay, so where I put him in?
Just anywhere you want.
All right.
Just nice and slow.
Yeah, right.
Make sure you cut the whole nut so there's no way of dropping it.
Okay.
It's
Right, because it would just be a disaster, eh? If I dropped it.
Brian and his team have designed a special cage to fit perfectly, so very little touches the Golden Boy. Days ahead of schedule, the Golden Boy is back home.
So what's left to be done now?
we need to get rid of all this cage,
Right.
get the steel off the bottom and lower him down into his final position.
Okay.
Position him north, exactly. Then we're done.
How was the bum cheeks? You didn't ruin
They're
my dimple,
sweet.
did you?
They're sweet.
Okay, good.
The only damage found is a tiny scratch on his knee, an easy fix, and a tribute to the expert workmanship of everyone involved.
Hey, what a job.
Project manager Mike Haraluk is proud of his team and a unique job well done.
This is the Golden Boy. You know, the people that you see around you help bring him down, help fix him, and help put him back up. And this is all part of it. And we know that the work we've done is going to last hundreds of years.
Finally, the golden moment arrives. Gilding, $40,000. Specialized restoration services, $1.1 million. 70 miles of scaffolding, $2.2 million. One happy queen, priceless. Coming up next, we're decorating Canada's best Christmas tree.